We have our first official look at the Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection, not an Ultra Premium Collection. And this is coming from PokeBeach. This has 15 booster packs. We get the Fruit Dessert Eevee promo, a fuzzy Eevee deck box, a really nice playmat, 65 card sleeves, and a code card. We don't know the price yet, but it will release on May 16th. I would estimate, I don't know, it's probably 120 dollars. That would make sense for this. And we could take a better look at, like, even the box is looking really nice. Super premium collection right here. This is the one that we saw recently. There was an insider at the Pokemon printing facility that said that there's a ton of these being made. So, releasing in May, a little bit of optimism that these will be hopefully, available to actually acquire. Maybe dreaming a little bit there, but that's my hope. You can see the back of the box right here. You got the deck box and all the stuff. So yeah, it's a really nice looking box. It's pretty big too because it has all this stuff in it. So we don't have the dimensions of the box right now, but it's a nice looking box. It's gonna do very well. Obviously, being a prismatic product, it's kind of a no brainer. Here's a look at the deck box, which is kind of cool. Put your deck in there, show up to your tournaments with the little Eevee. So that is nice. But the accessory that actually has me kind of excited is this playmat. The playmat and the sleeves. Because honestly, these are fire. These are really nice. I love this playmat. This is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. Sorry, the Vaporeon's getting cut off by my webcam. But yeah, got all the evolutions on here. This is just a really nice looking playmat in my opinion. Let me know if you guys agree. Yeah, nice looking playmat. We got the sleeves, same thing. It's just the playmat, but like a little bit more condensed, and maybe not quite as colorful. But once again, super nice looking. Really enjoying this. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we could pick this up at MSRP, which would be nice. And then this is the Fruit Dessert Eevee, the promo card that's going to be included in there, right? So, nice looking promo card. Got skipped from our main set. So yeah, that's what we have coming from Prismatic, and then we're going to do a little bit of market update on Prismatic as well. But real quick, we just got a few cards that have been revealed from Heatwave Arena, which is the Japanese set, which is half of our English set, Destined Rivals. Just a few. We got a little Ponyta, we got a little Rapidash, right? But this is the card that I kind of wanted to talk about more, the illustration rare Rapidash. I think it's a nice looking card, Rapidash. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick, just show it off, a little illustration rare. I can't, I'd like to see a little bit higher resolution photo, but yeah, this is a nice looking card. That's all. That's all we got for the news there. And then we're going to hop over to some Prismatic Market stuff. So we're going to talk about singles and sealed here real quick. The Espeon continuing to climb off of release, 325 at release. It's continued to climb and now it's leveled off at least for the moment. You can see like right here, it hit 400, then it kind of came off of 400 just a little bit for a few days. And so we're seeing a plateau right now of around 420. But you can see with this card specifically, there's very low supply, 9 copies currently available on TCG Player. And if we pull up the last solds, 440s are the last two. Before that, all 400s, and then before that, 450s. So yeah, this card starting to get more expensive, and you can see lowest listed is around 430, and then you get to the starred sellers at 570. So we'll see where this one ends up. Once again, low supply on the market for the Espeon. Really nice looking card. Then, we have to check in on the Umbreon. Now, this is the one that's kind of just been, it's been like flat, kind of consistent. I mean, you can see the last month, you can see the fluctuations up and down and up and down, like 1500, 1600, all in there. But overall, 2% gain on the last month. If we zoom out, you can see, you know, pre-release or first release 1500. So, and it was like 1560. So it's been pretty much 1500, 1600, very consistent. Lowest listed right now is 1580 for the Umbreon. We can see the last solds here, 1600, 1500, 1500, 1600, like all right in there. One as high as 17, high 17s. but that seems to be the exception there. So the Umbreon holding very well. Then we're going to talk about a few sealed things. We talked about this recently, but the PC ETB is already cracking the $300 mark recently. You can see this is just the past month. These are up 25%. If you zoom out right here, you can see pre-release prices were very high, right, in the $400 range. They came back down to around 250, 260 for a while, and then now we're starting to see the climb and a little bit of dip recently, just barely from 327 down to 320. So they're just leveling off and cooling off just a little bit for the moment. Probably going to continue to run. Just might take a little bit of time. Everything moves fast in this market, so a little bit of time might just be a few days. If I'm being completely honest, you can see the listed median price is closer to 400. So it kind of seems like give this just a little bit more time, and this is going to pass the 151 PCETB, which is now over $400. So that's interesting. Lowest listed, you're in the 320s, which matches market price for the PCETBs. So yeah, PCETBs starting to do well, starting to do gains because, like I said, off of release, they were free falling and then just kind of like leveled off for a while. So I mean, it makes sense. We got to eat up some of that supply. Things need to cool off a little bit, and then stuff starts to run, even with the regular ETBs. So this is what's interesting, right? Because regular ETBs, if we zoom out on the chart right here, you can see release date was like right in this window, so 120, and then they kind of fell to like just over 100, right? And now in the last month, up 22%. We're seeing now there's a lot of quantity still available here, supply very high, but we're starting to see the price move. $135 now on the ETB, with the most recent sales at 140, right? You can see a lot of 140s and upper 130s here. One as low as 130 and then one as low as 127. But pretty much 130, 140. If we go down to like lowest listed right here, we're gonna have to get through some of the sleeves and the empty boxes and stuff. So that's kind of annoying that they list those on here. But yeah, in the 130s from a few sellers. But if you want to get to a starred seller with better feedback, you're at 140, which kind of represents where the box is going on the off of those most recent last sales, except for these sleeves. 140. So I wish TCG Player would add a separate thing for like sleeves and dice and binders and stuff. But yeah, so regular ETBs starting to chug up with that super premium collection. Still quite a ways out, and we have booster bundles coming soon. We have some other product, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to suppress this price. I think even the regular ETBs at this point are going to start to get very expensive. Now, not everything is going up from the set, though. We still have the Sylveon on decline. You can see this is the 1 month chart right here. It's down about 15% from 5 to upper 4s, and more supply available on this one. So maybe not in quite as much demand, 34 copies. Although the last sale was a little bit above current market price at 500, but before that, all in the 4s except for another $500 sale down here. So the Sylveon's on a bit of a decline. This is more traditionally what you tend to see upon a release of a set. The cards come down for a while. So from a high of 720 to in the 400 range for the Sylveon, we'll have to see where it bottoms out. I'll be interested to see where it levels off and plateaus. Lowest listed from a starred seller, you're looking at $500, which is matching that most recent price sale. So we'll see. Maybe we found the bottom and the Sylveon's about to start popping back up. It kind of looks like it might be that way. And then we have a little bit of a lesser card. This is kind of a cool card from the set. Get the Tony Hawk vibes going, especially with that. There's a new Tony Hawk game supposedly getting announced recently, or soon, in early March. Random, by the way. But you got the Goldango doing his thing. He's up 46% in the past month. And things are starting to get a little wild on his cards, actually. You can see only 5 available on TCG Player. And this was a $60 card, and now they're having market at 96. But when you check out these most recent sales, look how quickly they shot up. 65, 75, 90, 80, 125, 130, 130, 150, 150, 186. So the Goldango looks like it's shooting up in price. You can see lowest listed's 200 and 300. That's pretty much all that's available. You got one seller that has 4 copies and one seller that has 1 copy. So the Goldango shooting up in price right there. One of those lesser illustration rares from the set, right? There's been a few of them that have started to move. We'll cover, I think, a few of them in this video. I haven't pulled up. The Flareon continuing to increase in price. Uh, a pre-release price 220, or it's not pre-release, release price around 220. Now we're up to 360. 12 copies available. Last solds though as high as 450. Before that, pretty much in the threes with one $400 sale. Looks like mid to upper threes on the Flareon, and now a $450 sale. Lowest listed right now for an English copy, you're looking at $390, which would be above current market price, but less than that lowest, most recent sale, or highest most recent sale, I should say. So Flareon moving up, one of those cards. Then the Roaring Moon. This is one that I kind of had pegged. I was watching, see where it would hit the bottom. I really like the artwork. I'm a big fan of the artist, Shinji Kanda. If you're not familiar, I just thought this was a very nice art style, and I do like the Roaring Moon Pokemon. But this one finally bottomed out, and it is on the rise. So you can see a similar situation right here. Low quantity, 6 copies available, and it's up 12% in the past month. But you can see it was dropping for a while. It was 220 at release. It came back down all the way to as low as 171. You can see that right here. And now we're up to over $200. However, last sold's being extremely high, 430. So be careful. Check out your eBay and stuff. That doesn't mean that just because a TCG player has it at this price and there's low quantity doesn't mean it's not available other places. But what we have seen recently is that some of the other cards that have been running up, eBay tends to be closer than we've seen in the past. But yeah, also a 250 sale before that. So lowest listed right now, very high, 300s to 400s. Lowest listed right here on the Roaring Moon. So Roaring Moon on the uptick. This I could see this. Like I said, this was one I was keeping an eye on, how low it was going to go before it started to move. So it kind of makes sense to me. I kind of saw this one coming. We'll see we'll see if it ends up being a $400 card or not. So it's kind of one of those things we'll have to wait and see. But Roaring Moon on its way up, not a surprise to me. The Leafeon, this one's kind of on its way down still. Down 21% off of 456 release high. And then you can see it's kind of bottoming out right now. Still coming down even in the last month, but it's leveling off around 350, 360 is kind of what it looks like. You do have a sale as high as 475 recently, but before that, lower to upper $300 range on the Leafeon. Nice looking card. I do like the Leafeon. Lowest listed right here for an English copy is 425, which would start to bump this card up, right? If those sales hold. 17 copies available, so a little bit more than some of the other ones, but still low supply on the Leafeon on TCG Player. So looks like that card's probably coming up if those listings hold. Then we have the Glaceon, which has kind of only gone up on the 3-month chart at least. 270 upon release, and now we're seeing it in the 300s. But most recent sales creeping up again, 400. So a lot of these cards moving. 19 currently listed, and you can see if we go to the lowest English copy, you got a few right here, but then you're at kind of like $350 range, which would be above market but below the most recent sales. So Glaceon leveling out for the time being, but possibly on the uptick to around 350. Once again, we'll have to get more sales to confirm that. So a lot of these prismatic cards starting to see more upticks now. A similar thing to what we're seeing with the sealed product, right? Sealed product starting to get more expensive, singles starting to get more expensive. So we're kind of at that time where enough has passed and things are starting to get dry as far as supply of new product entering the market. We'll see what the booster bundles, if they're able to make a dent, any sort of dent in the singles market as well. Cerulege we talked about recently as well, but this is an absolutely stunning card, by the way. This one, it's up 30% off of its release price of 180. It did come down off of release down to 148. Now we're seeing it in the pretty solidly in the $200 range. In the last month, 45% up on this guy. And 17 copies available, similar to some of the other ones. We can see the last solds. Very consistent in the mid to upper 200s. One as high as 300 right here, and 276. But before that, pretty much 230 range. So it looks like that market price is holding fairly well. You can see you got a few listings here from 230 all the way up to 300. Lowest listeds there on the Cerulege. Then I wanted to talk about the promo again, just for a minute. This is the Pokemon Center stamped promo. With the ETB going up in value, you know that the stamp promo has to be going up. They go hand in hand. So this one upon release was $100. Big steal right there, especially given where things are inevitably going. We know where these boxes are going. We've seen what 151 boxes are doing as far as the PC ETBs go. And this is going to match or surpass that. Just give it a little bit more time. But from 100 up to 120, and then it came back down and cooled off a little bit in the one teens, and now we're seeing $130. Last solds, 130, 140, one teen, so a little bit of a fluctuation in pricing, but kind of I'd say more consistently around the 120 mark, with current market at 130. You can get one right now, lowest listed at 120, 120, 120. So it might take a little bit more for this card to move up. There are only 41 copies of this promo available, and that's the thing. It makes me wonder, like how. I know there's people that are opening this, right? I know there's people that are opening it just for fun, and I know there's people that are opening it trying to grade this card, right? For me, my PC ETBs sit and sealed, right? I'm not going to be opening those. I'm not going to risk that with these current prices, but there's a lot of people, probably I would guess more than ever, not opening these. So I feel like that's going to have an effect on the promo pricing. You think there would be less supply on the promos, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. And maybe more people are opening it than I think, but we'll see. If this card number, this supply on this starts to get really low, closer to 20 in the teens, then we're going to see big movement quick, I think, on this. So something interesting also to keep an eye on. Then lastly, this one had an interesting fluctuation, the Eevee, which I do think, once again, is a nice looking card. There's so many cards. I don't think there's really any bad looking cards from this set, if I'm being completely honest. But the Eevee, 220 out the gate, came up to a little bit around 230, and then shot up to 240, and it's kind of come back down to around 220. So it's kind of been flat overall. You can see in the past month, down 2%, but flat-ish overall. We're at just hovering around 220. Only 11 available of this one. And you can see these sales fairly consistent. 220s, you see a few in the teens, and you see, where was that lower one? One as low as 200. So pretty consistent sales for English copies of the Eevee. And lowest listed around 230 right now, which would be just a tiny bit above market. So we'll see where that one ends up. But with this, I want to get your guys' final thoughts on this super premium collection as we end the video. Let me know what you guys think about this. Will it be obtainable is the first question, right? And by that, I mean, yes, it will be attainable on the secondary market. People will be reselling it for sure. But will you be able to pick this up at or remotely near MSRP? That's the first question. Secondly, do you think that it's going to have any sort of impact on the singles market at all? And then, 15 packs in there is a lot. And then, third, if you didn't see the video a while ago, like I said, the insider who was posting, he posted just a picture of the corner of the warehouse with pallets and pallets. And he said there was a lot of these, like they are ramping it up. He didn't say that directly, but that's what he was implying, right? That they are printing a crap ton of these. So do you believe that at all? And even if they are printing a crap ton, do you think it's enough? Because I know a lot of people are just like, it doesn't matter. They literally can't print enough. And I get it. But May still being a ways out, I have a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism still there for it. Yeah, so this is going to be, this product is going to be hot, hot, hot This one's going to be, I mean, we've seen what the 151 UPCs did, which is different than a super premium collection, a little bit different, but we know where these can go with this set. So these are going to be hotter than ETBs, regular ETBs for sure. We'll see if they can match PC ETBs. I don't know, but this is going to be a very hot in demand product. So anywhere you can pick these up is going to be the go-to. So that's all I have for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.